What's going on, guys? Anthony from Chronometer Check here, and today I'm really excited to be unboxing this new Seiko 5 sports field watch, the SRPE35. So hard to keep track with all of these reference numbers, but the brand new Seiko 5 field watch. I know the actual unboxing part of any unboxing first impressions video is like the most boring part. Just want to get to the watch, so let's go ahead and do that, and we'll talk a little bit more about it. And here you have it, guys, the SRPE35K. Now, a couple of things about this watch. This is kind of a revamped field watch model from the Seiko 5 sports line, which is Seiko trying to kind of refresh some of their popular and slightly outdated at this point models. I am wearing right now on the wrist a SNK 809, which is a different Seiko 5 field watch. Not quite the one that this watch was based on. This one was based on more, I think it was the SNZG series, I want to say. So many references, hard to keep track. I'll throw up a picture. But that one's a lot more closely similar to this one. It does have a few key upgrades that really differentiate it and really make it stand out from its predecessor. I mean, aside from the really cool kind of retro looking vintage design with the faux patina, one of the things that I noticed right away was this beautifully sandblasted finish. I mean, for a $200-ish watch, this is done really well. And another thing that sticks out to me right away is that domed hardlex crystal. I think it adds some nice curvature and a little bit of dimension and distortion to the watch that the other field watches kind of lacked. It's not something you traditionally see on a field watch. Usually you do see kind of like a, flat crystal. Even actually I am double wristing it right now. I don't usually do this, but this one is slightly domed, but usually it's not the case with a field watch, especially a more kind of traditional military-esque field watch, but I think it just works really well to add a little bit of depth, a little bit of extra interest. A couple of other things that Seiko upgraded in this particular watch is the movement itself, and this is one of the things that many people, including myself, had an issue with the older Seiko 5 models, was the older 7S26 movement. Great workhorse movement, very robust. You could wear it for days and days and years, never need a service, never have to worry about it, but the issue was it didn't have hacking or hand winding. Whereas with this new 4R36 upgraded movement, also Seiko in-house caliber, now it does have additional features such as hacking and hand winding, which just brings this watch a little bit more modern, a little bit more up to specs with the modern watches. It also does have 100 meters of water resistance and about a 41-hour power reserve, which is absolutely phenomenal. Now, another really awesome feature about this watch is its size. It's at about almost 40 millimeters, between 39 and 40. And about 13 millimeters thick, and I think it's just a really in-between size that just will suit any wrist, and I will go ahead and throw it on the wrist so you could see that. Okay, and here you could see the watch on my 7-inch wrist, which I think is a pretty average size, and I think it just wears absolutely perfect. I do apologize for the glare. The domed crystal is creating sort of a lot of reflection, whereas I will say in person it doesn't, because you don't really have in real life a studio light kind of like hanging over you, and I could probably work to move that around a little bit. I am trying to get my videography work on that, not something that comes natural to me, so I am working on it. It looks absolutely beautiful. I think this is an absolute home run. Now, the model that I picked has this, you see for the Arabic hour markers, has this vintage faux loom, which is done very well. It's not overdone. It's very tasteful, and I think is a very great pairing with this sort of cream tan khaki NATO strap, and the whole vibe has very military aesthetic, sort of similar to the Hamilton khaki field that also has the satin sandblasted case and the faux patina hour markers, whereas the Hamilton khaki field mechanical version that I have is the slightly more modern variation. Now, there are variations of this watch that do have different dials. First of all, there are some with sunburst and also with matte dials, and they also do include different case finishes. This is one of 3 that have a sandblasted finish out of the maybe 9 in total, so there are some that are polished and brushed kind of like in a traditional fashion, but this one just really stuck out to me right away, and as soon as I saw this one I knew I had to have it, especially for the price. Great movement. I think now this watch actually does compete with some of the sort of lower end Swiss watches in terms of value for money. Now, of course, you know, the Hamiltons do have a slightly better Swiss movement. The ETA 2824 is super highly regarded. The 4R36 in-house Seiko movement is definitely nothing to scoff at. I mean, it's not a Swiss movement, not the most accurate. I think it's rated within like plus or minus 15 seconds per day off the top of my head, maybe even slightly worse than that. They're not necessarily known for their extreme accuracy, but they do tend to be extremely reliable and workhorse movements over very long periods of time without requiring tremendous service. And when you do need to get them serviced, the parts are extremely readily available, so it's not even really a big concern. These are watches that you can wear, you can beat, you can abuse, and you don't really need to baby it. This is a watch that you can really wear and enjoy no matter your budget, and I think that's exactly what Seiko was going for, just stepping up their quality a little bit, and that's exactly what they did. And I love the fact there is a wide variety of different colorways, a little bit of a pretentious word there, colorways, but yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan. I can't wait to now give this some wrist time and, you know, actually give you a full in-depth review in terms of my thoughts, a complete in-depth look on the watch. This is more of just like a first impressions, so don't forget to subscribe for that when it does come out. I would appreciate if you did enjoy this video, if it helped you at all, if you could throw me a like. That really does wonders with the YouTube algorithm. And with that said, thank you so much for watching. Catch you next time.